What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Barbell Brigade Talk Show. I'm your host, Nadeem.
David Letterman. Look at that smile. He just turned it on, baby. Look at this guy.
We got Bart.
He's running for president 2024.
And won't shut up, Mike.
Bro, I'm 35 this year. I'm running for president.
Oh, you can? Were you born here?
Vote for me. Yeah, baby.
You say the stupidest things, you know that?
No, that's lit. Don't you just pay to put yourself on the ballot? Ladies and gentlemen, vote for me. Silent Mike.
They wouldn't even vote for Kanye. Why would they vote for you? That guy's way more famous.
Yeah, that guy's out of his mind.
Are you not?
No, I'm boring as fuck.
You know what you could do? You could just have an AI write all of your
speeches.
ChatGPT.
Which asks the question, what is AI programming? Because I honestly have no idea.
Oh, for powerlifting?
We got some history in that.
You both, or he does?
No, we do.
Have you seen the movie?
Programming or AI programming?
Have you seen the movie?
AI programming.
Have you seen the movie I, Robot?
An Asian guy writing it's not just AI.
No. We've had, I would say arguably.
The first?
We had the first one.
So you just scam people?
Do you know I, Robot?
The little vacuum thing that goes around the house?
No, that's a Roomba. I, Robot, the movie.
Yeah.
Will Smith, Shia LaBeouf. The two stars of I, Robot.
What about it? You keep mentioning it. What does that have to do with programming?
I think it was the first AI movie, wasn't it? It was at least one of them.
Okay, what about it? Let's get to the point.
All right, so AI programming, I don't believe exists.
Why not?
Because I think AI is like self-taught and learning, and with like the biggest database on the planet, right? Like an infinite database. I think that's the definition of AI.
That's not the concept of AI. The concept of AI is something that autonomously does something
but learns,
that
right?
Humans are doing, that learns a little bit,
yeah.
But it can be doing it at like a 50 IQ or a 200 IQ.
Sure.
That's how you scale it.
Yeah.
But if all AI is doing is, so I've messed with a couple of AI programs. Some of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
So some of them you go through, it has like a whole questionnaire, and the reason why I know this is people don't know this, but back in the day, Kaizen was developing the
we're looking into it.
AI. This is like 2015, maybe 2016.
Yeah.
So we were doing the first AI program ever.
Kaizen was your programming.
Me, Mike, Omar, and another writer.
Yeah, we were looking at it.
And then you would put in injuries, shoulder, whatever, and then you put in like my squat maxes, and you would fill out this 20-thing questionnaire based off how your body is, how you perform. Do I have injuries here, like tendonitis or whatever? It would spit out a program.
And based on how you reported that week too.
Yes.
Right? So you'd train a week, you'd put in your weights, your RPEs, and it would.
Yeah, and it'll spit out a program that would avoid things that would cause more injury or more preferred to you, or
So, in a sense, so it just writes a program for you, but is it like taught from you? You have to put everything? Is it getting from a database? Or
so that's where
I want a bigger squat. Can it just make sure it's training you and not fatiguing you?
So that's where I don't know what's out there right now because I haven't experimented with what people are selling. But to me, I don't think it exists based on, I believe, and again, I'm not a fucking engineer, but based on what I believe is AI, like Bart said, there has to be a learning aspect and a large database aspect. I'm pretty sure what exists now is pretty complex, semi-individual programming. So you do put in a bunch of inputs, but it only has a limited database, and it'll spew out some programming that is individualized based on a solid data. And again, I don't know the exact definition of AI, but to me, it has to be self-taught, self-learning based on this database and based on inputs. Over time, it gets more advanced.
Yeah. So what's the difference between semi-individualized and AI? What's the difference?
I would believe that AI, and again, this is all like hypothetical because I don't know what's out there, but to me, AI would continue to learn over time. And what's out there right now is not self-taught or self-learning.
So AI doesn't have to learn over time. It's just running on its own, right? So
no, because then you would call it Tesla AI, and it's not AI. Running on its own, I don't believe is AI.
I would say that, like, I guess in home terms, like
artificial intelligence.
If you have like a Google Home, that's called like a smart home, right?
Yeah.
Like where like you can program
your
home. Yeah, you can program your home where it's like, oh, it knows you come home at 5 o'clock, so every day at 5 o'clock the garage door opens, the living room lights go on.
I don't think anything true AI has ever been developed yet. That hasn't been a thing, but there's something close, like these chat GBTs.
No, I'm pretty sure those chats are.
But they don't self-learn, so it's a program that somebody wrote that can run on its own, but it's not like one and done. We can forever know how to do whatever.
No, I think it gets better.
But
I think those things are getting better on its own.
It will get better, but I've messed with ChatGPT too, and I've typed in a bunch of different prompts. I wrote, write me a conjugate program for an MMA fighter. Write me a program for a bodybuilder.
You did it for fitness?
Yeah, I just want to test it.
In that one?
What's that?
It knows fitness in ChatGPT?
No, I think they do anything, bro.
Yeah, it does. So
Can Chat get better today? Russell's run?
No, so you'll,
Is it
Is
GBT
it?
or
I think it's
GTV?
P. I think it's P.
GPT.
Yeah.
GPT.
So I put that in, and it has dynamic effort day, max effort day, shit with bands and stuff.
Would we create an AI program called Chat GPT?
Powerlifting?
Yeah. Or no,
No,
general physical preparedness.
Oh, that's genius.
But anyways, I put in 4 different goals, and the program is like 90% of the same.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of dumb.
Okay.
But it's getting there. Or
are your prompts dumb?
or is it just the fundamentals of training are that similar?
Probably a little bit of both.
Right?
But I've heard
Because whether you're a bodybuilder or powerlifter or whatever the fuck, you probably need to squat this much amount of reps no
Yeah.
matter what program you're
Yeah,
running.
yeah.
Say you created that program, right? Would that program have been better than just a regular program that's standard that anyone can buy because it was individually created by the AI for you?
So that's why I don't think not yet. I don't think it would have been. And that's why we probably didn't move on it, pricing and business aside. I don't think it's there yet. And I think Bart's concept of saying, is that training good enough, is probably the answer for all this, right? And it's even true when I'm programming for someone. I think I'm not the smartest coach on the planet, but I'm a pretty good coach. If I give you a set of 4 or a set of 5, it's not going to make that much of a difference in this week. In the micro month.
In a minute, what makes a good coach then?
And a good coach is adjustments based on input. And because I don't think these
And
Excels...
athlete.
an athlete makes you a good coach?
So many coaches
Yeah.
would argue they are actually 50% babysitter and 50%
For
coach.
sure, because there's a mentality about it and
Like
whatever.
Cus D'Amato is like puppet master for Mike Tyson.
Was he the most technical coach ever? Maybe
Who
not.
knows?
Yeah.
But babysitter,
Yep.
maybe he might be 90% babysitter.
So that's something that until we get real AI, we'll probably never get better than us. But I think to your point, Nads, being able to handle the emotional side of an athlete and be able to adjust on the spot to your athlete and make calls. And that's why I don't think these Excels that exist right now do that to the same level as a coach's with good precision judgment can do.
What I can say
Or
is,
that essay can do, right?
yeah, if you compare product to generation, when we first started getting on the internet, you Google like standard strength program, you get like a 5x5 or Mad Cow or something like that,
Yeah.
right? And that's something that anybody can run, and you can pretty much 90% of the population gets like a 400-pound squat, which is a really basic program.
Yeah.
With Chat GPT now, you go, give me a basic strength program, and that one is for sure leaps and bounds ahead of 5x5 and Mad Cow.
Yeah.
So I would say in this new generation, this new product is for sure, but like it'll prescribe RDLs,
Yeah.
it'll prescribe warm-ups, prehab movements, and I was really, really surprised at how in-depth it scoured the internet to get all these things.
I think for now, like I've coached only a few athletes and you guys have coached probably hundreds, right? Especially thousands in terms of like programming and other things like that. But the things that I've noticed individually coaching is kind of like you're saying, you have to babysit them, right? And the biggest thing about say like AI, you having to put your own input. So you don't have a coach, the AI is your coach, but you have to be honest with them. Most people aren't even honest with themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
so
for
it's
sure.
like when I have to go to all my athletes, I'm like, are you sure you hit the correct way? You missed some things here. Are you really doing this? Are you playing up your weights? Did you go heavier?
100%.
All these things, and it's like, did you even hit it in the order that you're supposed to? It's like I'm babysitting so much where it's like an AI program. If that you take that away, it's I feel like it's going to be impossible because it can't check you. It doesn't check your form.
It can't take the variables. So exactly like what you're saying, to give an example. So I'm coaching Bart, and Bart reports his bench, and he says, Mike, I hit 315. It was an RPE 7. I see the bench.
It's RP4 if it's 315.
I know, probably a 9. I know what Bart's capable of. I know how he lifts. I see what he writes, and I know what he writes doesn't match this according to more of an objective standard. And so then I can program based on what I think Bart needs. So I'm like, oh, Bart makes everything hella easy. Like he'd just be smoking weights and say it's hard. So I'm gonna push him even harder, right? Where AI, I don't think will maybe ever be able to do that until we build it like an eyeball.
Yeah.
If you build it an eyeball and it has artificial learning, now maybe we're in there.
Or how many times have we seen at a meet, someone hits a second attempt and they're like, oh, like that, right?
Yeah.
The coach is like, just go over there. I'm not going to tell you what your third attempt weight is. He puts in the weight. Yeah. Smokes it because they don't have the number in their brain.
Sure.
They're just going to hit it. And
Or
they're
the
like,
coach
what did
said
I hit?
something.
And they're like, I bumped you up 10 pounds. They're like, what? Yeah. That's something that AI for sure cannot do yet.
What about the movie Her?
You fell in love with your AI?
I can't wait. That's probably my only chance of true love.
Yesterday I
very
put
true.
in for Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I was like, how are you? He goes, I cannot feel feelings.
Oh shit.
Freaky, dude.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I just wanted a friend right now.
Freaky.
I've messed with ChatGPT like crazy. I've written all kinds of shit. I wrote like,
It is pretty wild.
I wrote, write me a love story between Adolf Hitler and Spider-Man. And it would be like, Adolf Hitler is a horrendous human being. There's no, like, it would refuse to write about that. Like, there's a lot of things it'll just stay away from.
I wrote it, tell me the benefits of global warming. And it told me it basically lectured me on why global warming is bad and that why I wouldn't even try to.
There's multiple apps though. I don't know the other one, but we're using another one that's a little bit more advanced.
Write this in, right? Write me an erotic poem about the Hulk.
All right. Yeah.
I wrote that, and it says eroticism, inappropriate, whatever. All this. I was like,
what I've heard though. I've heard that these are only what they're releasing to the public to get a test to see what's right and wrong, and then they're going to fix it. But what they have is even more advanced already.
I believe it.
No, the capabilities that it can do, but what they're releasing is far beyond. But you know how everyone, like, they had all the ones that were making collages of photos, making pictures of you, and people were trying to cancel because you're taking jobs away from actual things or actual artists. Should we be worried about coaches losing their jobs if someone creates a proper artificial thing? Or should we be happy?
I don't think so, because here's the thing. I would say what is effective in fitness and training hasn't changed for like 5 decades.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can, like even going back to 5x5 or Mad Cow, like if you Google, it's really simple to get in shape. Eat less than what you work out.
Yeah.
Or if you want to get stronger, add more weight or more reps every single week. But people need the human interaction. They need the feedback. They need the back and forth. So I think AIs will actually be more of a supplement to coaches getting better, but I don't think it will replace the coach because the answers have always been there.
I think
but if it was able to,
I think it'll just change the landscape of everything. And I use this exact analogy where a TI-81 is now our conversator to start with math. And so like everyone said like, oh, you're never gonna have a calculator with you all the time. Now we got our phones, we have a calculator with all the time. That is gonna be a different style of language.
But you still have to learn addition and subtraction.
You have to learn the language of these AI writers or whatever. So it's gonna change how we use things, but it'll change what my job may look like as a coach. But there's always gonna be some aspect. I always have to give it a prompt. And once we reach real AI, again, it might change. The coach may be just the emotional coach, or maybe a coach becomes how I handle the AI itself, and the AI handles the athlete. It'll definitely have to think outside the box of what it becomes, but it's not going to eliminate it. We just have to kind of open our bird's eye view on what this is going to become.
Last question though. So say it was able to
do the babysitting part?
Not the babysitting part. Maybe that's another thing that more people coaches can take on, that the AI just replaces the programming part and like the actual coaching part. Should we be happy even if some people lose their jobs compared to everyone getting better because there's a smarter work?
Oh yeah. What's more important?
Yeah.
What's more important?
Definitely a balance.
The checkout person or the self-checkout at Albertsons?
Yeah.
What's more important?
I miss Margaret.
How weird is it that at grocery stores it's like split 50-50 now? Like why don't we go all in or all out?
And how weird is it that the cash register lady doesn't go up to the fucking self-check and go, fuck you.
And how weird is it that I go to self-checkout and some dude's still standing there and comes out?
We can't buy alcohol.
Like, bitch, I know how to do it. Get out of here. Fuck this world, bro. I'm moving to Mars.
All right, guys. So do you guys want AI programming or do you want to stick to your shitty human coach? Let us know in the comments below.